This video has been brought to you by Skillshare. There is a saying that my mom used to say to me that, frankly, I always ignored because I very rarely listened to anyone, and it was, "Shannon, you missed the valley for the trees," or something along those lines, because again, I didn't pay attention or listen to anyone. I was too busy being loud. Basically, it meant that in your determination to see something ahead of you, see your future, your focus on this certain subject, you missed what was right in front of you, staring you right in the face. Things that were staring you deeply into your eyes and saying things like, "Hey Shannon, I am blatantly committing copyright infringement, and you can and should talk about that in order to get me taking off multiple platforms that I'm using to pursue minors." That's really specific, but that's what it was saying, because it's that specific. Like, straight up, in my quest to get justice, I really glossed over the fact that this person was over here in public hanging out, stealing artwork and copyrighted images from Nintendo, Warner Brothers Pictures, and Disney, as if it was no big deal, as if that was nothing that we could pursue, and as if I weren't the pettiest person in the history of the world and wouldn't immediately turn around and report that to the copyright owners, which I have. I really was just over here looking out for this one specific crime when I should have known that this man is both a career criminal and also too stupid to realize that he shouldn't be doing that in public. It's a whole heck of a lot. Whole lot, my dudes. A whole lot that I, in my infinite stupidity and infinite anti-wisdom, managed to not notice. I know that this was all a little bit specific because it absolutely is, but in my determination and research into Dahvie Vanity and the case before us, I literally just completely overlooked the one thing he has been doing so brazenly, something illegal that we can prove without a shadow of a doubt, something that we can report all of his accounts for and can alert the people who can get him taken off of platforms and get his ass sued from here to Timbuktu, and that is his blatant copyright abuse and art theft. Something that I have talked about numerous times on my channel, seeing as this used to be an art channel. Your girl really dropped the ball here. I should have been more on top of this. Hey guys, it's Shannon, and today is the one day of the month where the art part of my name, Creepshow Art, comes into play. Because if somehow you guys weren't aware, I am an artist. I am a person who works in the art field when I'm not doing YouTube things, and that is where I make a lot of my money. That's right, I do have a second job outside of YouTube, which is why when I eventually find out that my YouTube channel has been demonetized or taken down due to the stupid things I say, I will be fine, hopefully. Art's not that fruitful of a career, but I will be annoyed, but hopefully fine. Also, go subscribe and support Augie RFC. He is a commentary channel that recently got demonetized simply for speaking out about the Susie Lou situation and being deemed too mean. He deserves to be supported during this hard time since he was working super hard on that channel. Legitimately, he did not deserve to be struck the way he was by YouTube, and I just think if a lot of you guys went over there and just said, "Hey guy, keep up the good work," it would mean a lot. He is also over there on Twitch, which isn't demonetized, so feel free to check that out as well. Low-key though, him being demonetized really worries me about this platform and makes me super thankful that I do shit on the side that would allow me to continue to support myself while still making YouTube videos, because the idea of YouTube just yeeting people straight off the platform and saying, "Oh, you can't make money here," which you were using to support your lifestyle, that's scary as all heck. But back into what I was saying, I do work in the art field, which allows me to know a little something about art, artistic copyright, and, you know, what you should and shouldn't do as an artist from a legal standpoint. Be mindful that I said a little something here and not a lot of something here. It's imperative that you know right here and right now that I am not an expert, and I am just a woman with a very small brain who is trying her best online who somehow got a platform. One of the first things you learn as an artist is something about artistic copyright, which bare bones, in the stupidest of terms that I have explained it to myself as, that means you own everything, and I mean everything that you have ever made. If you draw a picture of yourself posted online, that is your property. You own the copyright to that, and you've worked hard to that. And if someone traces that drawing and tries to sell what you made, they are infringing on that copyright. It's unique to you and you alone. And if your brain came up with it and your hands shit it out, that is now your child. Your tiny, papery little child that can't speak or move because it's a picture. Congratulations, you gave birth. I don't know why I have to make things that weird, but I always do, and I'm sorry. Hit unsubscribe now. If you create something yourself, it is yours. However, there is one lone case in which something you made actually doesn't belong to you. There is one example that something that you, an artist, can make, spend hours working on, and still not own it. And that is fan art. Because when you make fan art, you are using characters that have been copyrighted by another party, and therefore that party who owns the characters you made owns your work. In the simplest terms, Again, I'm a big dummy, so if anyone wants to go harder in the comments, feel free to. But in the simplest terms, the person or company who is responsible for the marketing of the characters you drew, who owns the copyright, they own what you made, and if you were to decide to sell that work, they could go after you legally because you are selling something that you don't own the artistic copyright to. Just because you made it doesn't mean you own it in this sense. They own the characters that you use, so it's theirs. Now, if you are a small artist on DeviantArt and you're making a fan comic for One Piece or Naruto or any anime, the likelihood of you being involved in a lawsuit over your fan work is relatively low. No one at Nintendo or Disney is combing through DeviantArt or Redbubble to make sure that a small artist from Mississippi isn't selling their fan art of The Little Mermaid. However, if you are, say, I don't know, just off the top of my head, running a merch company after you've lost everything that you made once storing and recording, and you are using established copyrighted figures in your merch designs that you are using for profit, they might care about that. They might care about you, someone who's admitted to abusing young girls, using their copyrighted images and characters as branding. I don't know. They might care about someone who has committed heinous crimes against children using their copyrighted works in order to make money, especially when they are doing it so blatantly that if you reverse image search some of the items, you can find the original works and you can find the artist who made them. I mean, maybe. Possibly the copyright owners would care about that if I brought it up directly to them and did my darndest to contact them about it. But who knows? Maybe not. Again, it's a specific situation because we're talking about Dahvie, the human pile of garbage who is about to be yeeted into the sun. Dahvie has committed disgusting crimes against underage girls and is currently being investigated by multiple different agencies. And while that investigation has gone on and is going on, he has been in front of all of us continuing to break the law and go against actual established companies because this incredibly stupid human being has been using copyrighted images from Disney, Nintendo, and whoever owns the right to Beetlejuice to sell his terrible clothing. Oh, I just looked it up. It's Warner Brothers Pictures. Warner Brothers Pictures own the right to Beetlejuice. This was something that was brought up briefly in Edwin's Generations video about Dahvie because at one point Dahvie was seen with a teen wearing some of his merch which featured artwork from The Nightmare Before Christmas on it. The merch clearly showed Jack, Sally, as well as Lock, Shock, Barrel, and other iconic characters with iconic designs that belonged to the Disney Corporation, namely Walt Disney Pictures. The characters are obviously easily recognizable to the point where I can almost guarantee you that the designs used were not created by a third party who Dahvie graciously paid for the use of their images, but were simply copied and pasted from the internet and used for this shirt, without express written consent from Walt Disney Pictures. That would make the use of these characters legal. But of course, he's Dahvie, and it's never going to be legal with him. And he didn't stop there. He also used Jack Skellington's iconic image in a beanie, as seen here in one of his many gross wigs. The hat features Jack's face, and then the name of his brand, Dark Arts. Again, I don't think Walt Disney Pictures signed off on letting this child predator use the image of one of their most popular, beloved characters for any reason. But also, let's be real. Do you think a company would approve of putting one of their most beloved characters next to a brand name to popularize that other brand? No. Why would Disney support a non-Disney owned brand? That's stupid. Absolutely not. It's like if you were a small business and you used the iconic Mickey Mouse ears as a logo for your own brand that has very little to do with Disney. It doesn't make any sense. No one would approve that, and it would be all in all a very stupid move on both parties because you are now going up against Disney, who pretty much owns all of existence and could yeet you into the sun. But Dahvie, being incredibly stupid, didn't stop there by stealing from only one multi-million-dollar corporation. He also used licensed images and characters from Nintendo as well as Warner Brothers Pictures because he couldn't stop himself from using Michael Keaton's face on a Beetlejuice hoodie. And those are just the designs that feature easily recognizable characters from popular franchises. I could eyeball those designs and see that they were stolen and who they were stolen from. However, given just how much clothing he is posting about on all of his pages, because he has 3 Instagrams, I'm willing to venture that a lot of his designs have been stolen from around the internet and have been taken from smaller artists, because I can't emphasize this enough. This man is about as creative as he is upstanding, and he's a criminal. He's not upstanding at all. Even his new name, Kawaii Monster, isn't something he came up with himself. Like, that's how uncreative this guy is. He literally stole the name from a cafe in Japan he had previously visited because there is not a bone in his body that can come up with something for himself. He's a thief. This grown-ass man has literally stolen his entire existence from other people and is using that to make money, and it's insane. However, if you want to learn how to be creative and how to create lovable, iconic characters for yourself, or just improve your life by learning something new, check out one of Skillshare's thousands of classes. Yes, that was an amazing segue. I have been using Skillshare for about a year now, before they ever started to sponsor my channel, and it has helped me learn so much. From little things like how to spend my money efficiently and helpful tips about how to set up my apartment so it looks like a woman lives here and not just an overgrown child, to meaningful tips like how I should address my own productivity and how to journal as a form of self-care. And if you need a suggestion for a good class to take, I highly recommend my all-time favorite, Odd Bodies by Tom Froze. I swear to you, if you can think of it, there's probably a Skillshare class about it, and it's dope. Skillshare is offering you, my subscribers, a 2-month free trial of their system if you use the link down below. But that is only for the first 1,000 people who click that link. That is 2 months completely free with hundreds of thousands of videos that you can pursue, that you can peruse at your leisure. You can learn so much in that time completely free. And honestly, it's not like any of us have anything else to do in quarantine now, because everything is on fire and the world is terrifying. Again, that's 2 months of Skillshare completely and utterly free if you use the link down below. And with that said and done, let's get back into Dahvie breaking copyright law and being genuinely a terrible person. My goal with this video is to, at the very least, try to find the actual copyright owners of all the merch he has made, find the people who own the designs that he's wrongfully using, and inform them of what's going on, both Disney and the small artists he's probably stealing from. My goal is to make sure that the copyright owners of all the artwork that he is using and possibly illegally merchandising are aware of their rights and aware that the money he's been making from these should be theirs. In a perfect world, I would be able to inform someone over at Disney, and that would be that. But I'm at a loss of how to do that other than to yell on Twitter about this and potentially just tweet until they do something. If someone could come up with like a snappy hashtag to get Disney's attention, or Nintendo's, or Warner Brothers' attention, that would be awesome. But seeing as this man is so brazenly breaking copyright law that he has 3 separate accounts and a website dedicated to doing so, I think we could actually make a difference here. I don't usually do this, but if you have made it to this part of the video, please take the time to either share this or tweet about what's going on. That way we can effectively change the situation. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Let me know if you find any other artists that he has stolen from. And with that, I am out of here.